Hey, Mongo, what's up? Oh boy. Live from there under the seas in Cozumel. I am still light going here. Hope you're doing well. We've been on the go since like 7:30 this morning. Tired. It's been a long day. We did like a full 4.5, 5 hour excursion where we went to go do chocolate tasting and tequila tasting, and then also honey tasting. And then came back on board, got some lunch, and then went back out and bought some t-shirts. So we are poolside on deck 11. Sounds like fun. Back on a cruise. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We got one next month on the Carnival Mardi Gras, and then another one in May, and then one in September. Carnival Vista's in port over here. And spin around here. This camera will cooperate. That's Cozumel. I don't have the best view here. It's kind of the terminal down there, sort of the orange building. The camera's having a little bit of trouble focusing today, so try not to move around too much. Yeah, well, the weather looks good now. Earlier this morning, it was extremely like stormy last night. The ship was really moving. I can't remember a cruise where it was that bad. As far as just that, the ship, you could feel waves hitting the bottom of the ship. You could kind of hear the ship, get pounded by the all night. And then like about 6 o'clock this morning, we pull into port, or we're starting to get into the area of the port, and then it starts to kind of calm down a little bit to where it started to normal out. By about 7 o'clock, we pulled into port, and it was a little bit more of what you would expect. And then by 8:30, we're walking off the ship. It was pretty close to normal. The skies had cleared up, and the water had calmed down, and it was much better. So, and then tomorrow should be good, because all of the weather that's been down here in the Caribbean, that's sort of partially affecting Florida and all that, I think it's moved out to where it won't be a problem anymore. So, yeah, there were, it's bad when you see like bark bags and stuff that are positioned on the handrails and, like right outside the elevators, where you go down the steps to each deck or go up. So they had the bark bags out, and yeah, a lot of people were taking bromine and other things for seasickness and so forth. I think the captain came on like easily, probably man, easily a half a dozen times yesterday, kind of throughout the day, telling us, how everything was going, what to expect, and kind of warning us about like overnight, this and that, and then into the next morning, and so yeah. Let's see. Well, hope the weather's good for us. Yes, I think it will be. I think we'll be good from here out. It was a perfect day in Cozumel. We literally ended up driving, if you know the Cozumel Island, we literally ended up driving all the way around. It's kind of cool. The island is not very big, so we basically just came out of the cruise port, took a right, and literally just kind of followed the coastline, and we stopped at a couple of different places along the way, and then went all the way around to the eastern side of the island, and then we were taking that road that cuts back across the island, and we stopped at the bee sanctuary as our last stop. So we went to like 3 different places. So it's a good little excursion. Chocolate, tequila, and honey. Basically sort of learning how they're made and sampling them. And we bought two bottles of tequila. And then Maria got a bunch of honey and a couple of other knickknacks. Hello.
Is this the flower? Okay.
It is.
That's me.
Yep. Yeah, just enjoying. We got about another hour for the all-on-board time, and then I think it's 6 o'clock is when we leave. So around 6, I'm going to try to walk around and record some video when we sail out from Cozumel. There's not much to it because we literally just start pulling away from the dock. The way Cozumel is set out, it's pretty much just on that side of the ship. It's just open water, so pretty much drop the lines and just very slowly start moving away. But it's a good excuse to get video. We still don't have like an exact count. Everybody keeps asking me like, what's the capacity? So, okay, Mongo, take care. We'll be back on tomorrow at 3 in case you happen to join. I think tomorrow at 3, and then on Wednesday, I'm not sure. Maybe around 2 o'clock. But the goal is to be live each day of the cruise. So. Sitting in one of these weird, like, lower this for a second so you can see it. I'm sitting in one of these weird, like, low profile, I don't know what you call these things, but they're like really hard to get in and out of. Like, so it's hard to get out of this chair. It's like you're kind of you just gotta, whatever cruise line it is, you gotta make sure you're fully aware of the protocols. A couple of weeks before your cruise, make sure that you stay away from everybody, mask up, when you're out and about at home, just to, just be thinking ahead to, like, you gotta pass that test to test negative before your cruise, like the day before, or, up to 2 days before. So, like, for us, for the entire first half of January, we were like, stay away from everybody, mask up, like, just, play it super safe. But yeah, this is no different than it was in August for the Adventure of the Seas, or for November for the Scarlet Lady. So the only real pain in the ass is the mask. Other than that, it's not bad. So yeah, I think it's safe. this is a very controlled environment if you think about it, because the cruise lines know exactly who's vaccinated, because everybody pretty much has to be vaccinated. Everybody has to test negative before they can even set foot on the ship. They wouldn't even let us into the cruise terminal in Canaveral unless we tested negative. And then, mask. They're really on everybody about the mask, social distancing. I don't know that I've sanitized my hands that often in the last couple of days. So it's a very controlled environment. So yeah, I definitely think it's safe. But it's subject to anything. You could test positive and be asymptomatic because you were around somebody else. It's possible that happens. It's possible you can quarantine for a little while until you can test negative if they determine through contact tracing. So that's subject to change. Cruising right now is definitely different than pre-COVID, so you just have to be able to roll with it. But yes, I definitely think it's safe. Everybody's pretty much walking around doing their thing like it's, normal cruise. So yeah, enjoying the weather. It's in the ballpark of about 75 degrees here in Cozumel. Perfect weather. A few clouds in the sky. The deal with the masks, by the way, if you're outdoors, if you're in one of the outer decks, you do not have to wear the mask unless you can't maintain physical distancing. And then if you're inside, you got a mask on, unless you're actively eating or drinking. So it's pretty cut and dry. So you kind of get used to it. You see, I've got my mask on a deal here. So I can just kind of put it up, take it down, put it up, take it down. So yeah, life is good on the cruise ship. It's definitely good on this cruise because we're Diamond. So we ended up getting Diamond after the Adventure of the Seas cruise in August of last year. And around that same time period, they modified Crown and Anchor. They added a new benefit to Diamond and above, where you get 4 drink certificates or whatever it is per person per day. So I don't have a drink package, and we have not paid for a drink. Well, maybe one. But even then, it was like an extra $1. Because it was a $14 drink in the bamboo room, and they applied the drink from our platinum. And so once they did that, it was basically like $1 for the drink. So and yeah, it's good. They had a letter in our statement that sort of talked to the platinum and everything, and that knew something about like some of the benefits were lost temporarily or something because of COVID, and then it's like, but you still have the 4 drinks per day, whatever. And it was the way it was worded. It was a little weird. So I sent Michael Bailey, the CEO. I sent him a message through Facebook like, hey, this new benefit that you put on Platinum with the 4 free drinks, that's not going to go away, right? That's permanent, right? So I haven't gotten an answer back yet, but I don't know. There was something about the way that letter in the cabin statement was worded that I don't know. I think it's a permanent addition, hopefully, to the Crown and Anchor for Diamond and above. And it's a very good benefit because 4 drinks per day per person. Yeah, I like that. And it tells you in the paperwork that each one is up to $13, which basically covers you all the way up to a drink a day. So, and it's nice because you can use that same 4-drink deal for anything, like literally a can of water, specialty coffee, a Coke, like anything. By the way, speaking of water, check it out. This is how Royal Caribbean does water now. So, canned water. So it works good. So what we did is we bought 2 cases. Well, I bought 1 case before the cruise of the canned water, and then we bought another case through the room service, and then I brought my Yeti, and so I just fill up my Yeti with the canned water, and I'm good to go. Because they used to do 1 liter plastic bottles if you bought them pre-cruise, to have delivered to your stateroom. But they don't do the plastic. They're moved away from the plastic bottles. So now they do the aluminum cans. So fill up the Yeti and good to go. So on the excursion today, I had my Yeti. I had about 5 or 6 cans of water, 12-ounce cans. I had plenty of water for my excursion. It's good to go. As you might expect, and as a typical Royal Caribbean cruise, the crew members are amazing. Whenever I do the post-cruise survey, the crew members are like the first ones that I thank in the survey, called about, because I don't know that I've ever run across a problem with a crew, and that goes back almost 20 years, and however many cruises we've done. So I always call out the crew. It's been a very, very good cruise. Anybody have any questions? Anything I can answer? Any comments? Sure, YouTube probably have a field day with all this music. Usually like a couple of days after, like a day or 2 after the live stream, YouTube will go nuts with I was going to stream live from the solarium, which is kind of that way. But everybody was hanging out in the solarium. There were like no chairs available, and it was kind of quiet over there. And I didn't want to like sit right next to somebody and be like talking and live streaming or whatever. And, like there are literally people over there in the solarium that are sleeping. Like they're like asleep. Because they've added day beds and stuff to the solarium, so they're like really nice, comfortable places over there in the solarium to sleep. Because it's quieter over there. There's not the music going on. It's not the same environment. And so there are like several people in the solarium that are sleeping, or they're laying out, or whatever. So I pretty much had to come over here, hang out by the pool, because there's at least enough room over here for me to, kind of stretch out. So kind of sort of gives you guys a little bit of something to look at too, because honestly the scenery in the solarium was a little boring. Yeah, angle the camera up here a little bit. So there's the Sky Lounge up there in the background. Much to look at right here, I guess. So, if I get some focusing on this camera here. Yeah, I guess this isn't the best spot either. Sorry about that. It's hard to find. I could move up there where the Sky Lounge is. I can do that. Alright, we're going to go up here and see if we can get a better view. On the move. All right. Okay, there we go. Ooh, now I'm in the bright sunlight. Hey, what's up, Tyler? Sorry about that. Had to move to a better spot up on the pool deck. Let me see what I got here. Well, crap. It's hard to find a good spot with a vantage point. Let's see if I can move a little closer here. Alright, kind of having a little bit of trouble finding a good vantage spot here. How's that? So we'll go for this for now. Hey, Mongo, you're back, huh? I moved up to the upper level, so now I'm like in the sunlight. So it's hard to see. Now I'm gonna get like sunburn out here. Yeah. For January, I'll tell you, you'd hardly know it. Hot and sunny up here at 5 o'clock in the evening. Tyler, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. I'm not sure how much the microphone is picking up on the music, but not quite as loud here as it was down there. I'm sure YouTube's still going to go nuts with it. Ooh, they're closing up. I don't know if you can see that or not. Closing up under the pools. Sorry, going a little nuts with the camera here. Alright, the cables are all messed up here. Sorry. Give me a second to get this sorted out here. We had the hardest time finding a good place to broadcast from today. It's like, sorry, the cord on the camera is only so long. There we go. Here's a little bit better view. Yeah, so they're covering up one of the pools. Oops, sorry. There we go, that's a little better. Weather's perfect today, just a little windy, huh? Yeah, we have a friend that's kind of watching our cats back home in Orlando. We were told that I guess the worst of it was Sunday morning, I guess. Mongo, my favorite cruise line. Okay, I got to tell you, in all honesty, I have been with one cruise with Virgin Voyages. That was the Scarlet Lady in November. And I've been on one cruise with Carnival, which was way back in 2004, before I met my wife, and I don't even remember that one. And that one was marred by a hurricane. So, I'm very loyal to Royal. We just hit Diamond status. So, we are going to do a Celebrity, I think, next year. The Virgin Voyages experience was interesting. I liked a lot of it. There were just certain parts of it that, like, I sort of found myself, like, I missed the main dining room. I missed the Windjammer, the buffet, because Virgin Voyages doesn't believe in either of those. I liked the Virgin Voyages approach to alcohol because they don't do drink packages. They just do, like, a bar tab. But their pricing was better. But now that they've added that new benefit to Diamond, or Crown and Anchor, with the 4 drinks that I was talking about earlier, man, that's a that's a game changer. So, at least for me, because now I am Diamond. Virgin was interesting. They're trying to make it look and feel like it's a hotel on water and not a ship. So, like, you've never heard from the captain except once at the very, very beginning. With the crew members, you can't tell, like, who's an officer and who isn't, because they wear very casual uniforms. I don't know. I don't really, to answer your question, I don't really have a lot to go on other than I can tell you all day long about Royal Caribbean. I hear very good things about Princess. I know some stuff about Disney just from doing the training, and Disney's, they only have 4 ships and they're premium, so they're expensive. But I have heard that it's a pretty good experience on Disney. We're going to be on Carnival on the Mardi Gras on February 12th. So in just a few weeks, we're going to do the same. We'll do live every day of the cruise. It's a 7-night on the Mardi Gras. So I'll give you as much coverage as I can from there. And of course, I'll be recording a ton of footage. So I'll have a vlog series on the Carnival Mardi Gras for the next couple of years. It'll take me to get all the video out because I record so much. What I know of Carnival is that it's a fun ship, you know. They have pretty comparable programs for drink packages and, you know, shore excursions. A lot of these shore excursion companies in the ports, all the different cruise lines use the same shore excursion companies a lot of times. like the guy that was doing our excursion today, where we went to do the tequila and the coffee and the chocolate, was talking about, give us a referral and, whatever. And you just kind of can tell that a lot of the cruise lines use the same company. So, Royal is awesome. Yeah, once you hit Diamond on board, so many free things. Yep, that's true. Now, Tyler, to that point, I really, really, really hope that the 4-drink thing for Diamond and above is a permanent addition, and that it's not something that's like only going to be around for COVID, So I'm asking Michael Bailey about that one, but let me see. Let's see. Celebrity. I know a lot about Celebrity because of my certification training that I had to do for being a travel advisor. So Celebrity is kind of the premium to Royal. So we're very interested. We're going to try and do Celebrity Beyond for a spring 2023 cruise before we go back to Europe in the fall of 2023. So I should be able to report on Celebrity at some point in the future. I think who else is out there? Don't know much about P&O, but that's part of the Carnival brand. Don't know much about Aida or TUI or any of those. Those are European brands. MSC. I know a little bit about MSC. Sorry, I got a lot of glare, so it's hard for me to read the comments. Ooh, black mold and shower curtain. Yeah. I think you'll like Royal Caribbean. It's interesting because each one of the cruise lines kind of has a different, what do you want to call it? Like a different, like here's what we do. This is what we're about. Kind of like a different mission statement on this. So, Carnival is the fun ship, right? Celebrity is like a level above, premium. You can kind of tell like their pricing and who they sort of target. MSC, what I was getting ready to say about MSC is very very flexible. I hear some negative things about MSC's food. As much drinks as you wanted. Yeah, so we're definitely Tyler. We're definitely digging the Diamond Lounge and all that. So I love it. Being Diamond is definitely worth it. I've heard some things about MSC's food. MSC, like, give you an example of how interesting they are. In Europe, you can actually get on a cruise in MSC at one port. Like, let's say it's a 14-night MSC cruise that goes from like Marseille in France, around the Mediterranean, then back to Marseille. You could actually get on that ship at one of the port stops, let's say like somewhere in Greece, like Athens, and then you could get off at Rome, and like so you could say I only want to pay for like from this part of the cruise to this part of the cruise, and you can literally get on mid-cruise and then get off mid-cruise, and so you sort of only pay for like the part that you're on with MSC. So it's definitely that's over in Europe. They don't really do a lot over here in the States that would apply to them because they really only do like out of Miami. You won't see an MSC cruise out of Canaveral or Everglades because I think they only really do out of Miami so far. That could change, but in terms of I hear good things about MSC's entertainment. They've got some pretty nice ships, so. UFO thingy in front of me. Is it talking about this? Mongo? This is my face mask. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, because I have it on a. If this is what you're talking about, I have it on a chain, like it's a pair of eyeglasses, right? Because you know the thing about this cruising right now is like it's mask on, mask off, mask on, mask off. So it's like I have it around my neck because I'm constantly having to up, down, up, down, up, down. This is my shirt. Talking about the Oh, that's the Sky Lounge. Hang on.
Let's take it all the way.
That's the Sky Lounge. So it's the upper deck. That's deck 13. Yeah, it's deck 13 above me. Because I'm technically on deck 12. So yeah, that's really part of deck 13 behind me. So just one of the areas up there where you can lay out, pretty much. I don't know if you could see when I put the camera up there, but they're like deck chairs and stuff up there. So it's just another area for you to lay out. C&B does not allow what MSC does in Europe. Mongo, if you pull up the Mariner of the Seas deck plan on the website, and you look at let's see, where am I? That's the forward part of the ship, right? So if you look at the deck plan and you look at deck, it's basically deck 13 forward. Oh! Good call, Tyler. Good call. Yes, sorry. That is the Viking Crown Lounge. Yes, good call, good call. Good catch. Sorry, I have one camera facing forward, one camera facing backwards, and I thought you meant what was behind me. That's the Viking Crown Lounge. Sorry about that. Yep. That's a relic, so sort of the older Royal Caribbean ships. So with let's see, if you go by class, and Tyler, correct me if I get this wrong, with the Oasis class that debuted in 2006. No, when did Oasis come out? 2009. 2009. With the Oasis class, that's of course the mega ship, the biggest ones. Crown and Anchor is gone, or Viking Crown Lounge is gone. The Quantum class is the one with the arm, right? So it's not part of that. It's not part of the Icon class, which is the new one that they're still building. So basically, I don't think you will see any new ships that come out that have the Viking Crown Lounge. Uh-oh, there's Maria. Yeah, not many have the Viking Crown Lounge anymore. Yeah, it's a relic of the older ones. And you know, the Mariner of the Seas was launched in 2003, I think. So it kind of makes sense. That's why you see it here. On this ship, it was on the Adventure of the Seas. We're going to be on the Voyager of the Seas in September, and it's on the Voyager. So it's definitely like the older ships. I love the Viking Crown Lounge because it's a cool venue to sit up there and kind of look over the pool deck. You know, you got a good bird's eye view of the ocean out to the sides. So, but it's not part of the newer ones. Yeah, we definitely like it. What's interesting is they've over the last several years they've started to kind of rename. Like, I remember years ago, we're talking back to like 2010, 2008, 2000, whatever. Whenever, because we've been on this ship in 2008, we've been on a bunch of the Royal Caribbean ships prior to the Oasis class coming out, and the Viking Crown Lounge was just the Viking Crown Lounge. There was no Diamond Lounge back then. There was no such thing as Ellington's, whatever. On Adventure of the Seas, theirs is called like the Blue Moon something or other. But now you see these older ships that still have the Viking crown. They sort of try to rename the dance floor part of it or whatever. They try to give it a different name. So you look at the deck plan, and it'll show like Viking Crown Lounge, Ellington's, and Diamond Lounge, or Diamond Lounge, all in the same part of the ship. So I've noticed that a couple times now since we Adventure last year and then this ship this year. And I think for Voyager in September, we're going to see a similar deal on that one. Yeah, the Oasis class is definitely our favorite. It's so big. And there are so many things on the Oasis class that you can do and that it has, and especially now that they've started to run them through the amplification process, and they've started to take features from like the Quantum class and add them into the Oasis class, and so I'm waiting to see what the Icon class is all about, because we don't have any real details on that one yet. We know the size roughly of around 200,000 gross tons, so in between Quantum class and Oasis class. We don't know any of the other sort of features of what the Icon class is going to be yet. So probably, because they just started cutting the steel and everything on that one in the fall of last year. So I don't think we'll see the Icon class actually deployed until probably, I would say, spring of 2023 at the earliest. Anybody got any questions, comments, anything? I'm just kind of sitting up here, chilling out, waiting to go record video before when we go to pull away, which is about 45 minutes from now. So the all on board time is in 20 minutes. Ovation of the Seas, that's the one we did for the Alaska cruise. It has one flaw. The way they designed the Ovation of the Seas, the upper deck, the very front part of the upper deck, like all the way at the bow, is the running track. And what they did is they and that's also where the, what do you call it, the gym, right, the spa, all, the gym and spa, whatever it is, that on the front of the ship, on the bow, on that same upper level. So what they did is they sort of carved out this little area all the way across the front where the running track could go. Right? So if you're on the upper decks of the Ovation of the Seas, and like let's say you're going to pull out and you want to go all the way to the bow, to the front of the ship, but at the highest deck, to sea, it's not a very good view, because you're basically standing on the running track and you're sort of wedged in between. It's hard to explain, but the way they designed it, it's just not the best for being at the bow of the ship and trying to look straight ahead at the highest deck. So what you have to do on the Ovation is you have to go down to the solarium, which is like one deck below that, and then the solarium, this is interesting, the solarium on the Ovation of the Seas and similar ships in that class have kind of like these wings that go out on the side. And so you could go down to the solarium, go all the way to the front of the solarium and go out on the wings, but those wings can only hold so many people, right? But it's a really good spot to be able to be outside at the front of the ship, way up, to be able to see, like, as you're pulling out. So now the good thing is the sides of the ship and the back of the ship are wide open on the Ovation on the upper deck, so you do have good views out there. The only thing that got on my nerves was the glass panels, because all down the sides and across the back of the Ovation on the upper level, they have these glass panels to try to keep the wind down. But the panels, there's like very little space between the panels. So, like, I like this. Like, if you walk around the upper decks of like this ship, for instance, or any of these in this class, it's open. There are no glass panels, and so you just have a nice unobstructed view off the sides from the upper level of the ship. You don't have that on the Ovation. So there are some issues. I think there are some issues with the design in terms of that. Now, it has the benefit of having the North Star, so it is pretty cool to do the North Star when you're out there at a glacier or whatever, because you go way up, and the thing about the North Star is you have to book, if you want the good North Star experience, you have to book the excursion. So it's a paid deal, and if you do the paid version of the North Star, they'll take you up for like a half an hour or 20 minutes or something. If you do the free version, it's like half of that. And the key difference is the free version, you do not go out over the sides of the ship. You're like if you do the free version, you just basically go straight up, like in the same position, and that's it. Whereas if you do the paid version, they'll take you up, they'll turn you, and so forth and so on. So definitely want to do the paid excursion for the North Star if you're going to do like an Alaskan cruise on the Ovation. So it's a good ship. It's modern. It's got great Wi-Fi, excellent choices in restaurants and so forth. It was good. I wish the upper deck was designed a little differently, but other than that, yeah, I'd do it. Tyler says they're talking about the Icon class. Let's see, they're keeping it under wraps since they don't want MSC to steal the design. Yeah, MSC is about to place an order. The same yard. Yep. Makes sense. So we'll get more on the Icon class as we get closer. I don't know if everybody saw it, but I recently put out some information on the new NCL Viva, which is coming in the spring of 2023. So that's going to be really nice. And NCL already has the Prima coming. So the Prima and the Viva are both launching. I think they're both launching in 2023. Well, the Prima might be launching in late 2022. I can't remember. Some of this stuff starts to run together because I get so much travel advisor email coming in from all the different cruise lines and so on. So it starts to run together. But NCL is one. Talking about the comparison to the cruise lines. NCL, that was the other one I was forgetting about. NCL is one that I would like to do at some point. I just don't know when. Yeah, the Wi-Fi on the Mariner. Tyler, yeah, it's doing really well. It is a very Jekyll and Hyde experience so far. It's like last night, for instance, as we were getting ready to go to bed, literally had no internet in the room. And now the ship was moving a lot last night. I mean, a lot. It would have made a lot of people seasick. I don't know if that has anything to do with it or not. You would hope that it wouldn't. The other day when I did the live stream from the Diamond Lounge, I was up there in the Viking Crown Lounge and I was at the highest point of the ship. And we also had pretty smooth seas at that point. So, yeah, I don't know. I was half expecting this Wi-Fi right now to kind of be a problem because I have my here he is, front pocket. I have this guy as my backup. So this is my little Solus Wi-Fi. So this runs on cellular. So I have global data on this guy. So if the Wi-Fi on the ship was going to be a problem, I was going to have to switch over to that. So, but yeah, I did a couple technical things behind the scenes too. I dropped the resolution down a little bit, and I went into my streaming software and forcibly set the streaming rate down to 1,500 kilobits per second to try to take it, to try to work with the Wi-Fi. And I set the for the live stream, I set the latency to normal instead of low. So, kind of learning through experience that I suspect that the Wi-Fi on the Mardi Gras, the Carnival Mardi Gras, because it is brand new, should be pretty good. So we'll find out in a few weeks in February. The one on the Harmony in May should be pretty good because that ship is only. When did they launch Harmony? 2016. Yeah, 2016 maybe-ish for Harmony. Maybe 2014. I can't remember, but it's not that old. So the Harmony of the Seas should have good Wi-Fi. Voyager of the Seas, that can be. That's the one in September for the 14 night. That one might be a problem. So I don't know, which is going to suck because there's an awful lot of opportunities for live streams for that cruise with all the different port stops and so forth. So I don't know. The Voyager of the Seas, we'll have to find out this summer how that one works out. So, but. Yeah, so far the Wi-Fi on the Mariner is doing good. So, I've moved like twice.
Well, thankfully I saw it.
I'm good. I finished my beer a while back, so. Yeah, just a lazy day here in Cozumel. I think a lot of people might still be. Well, by now they should be on board. But now you're already starting to get into the dinner time, so. So this thing, man, I'm losing track of the days. This is like a holiday, right? Nobody had to work today? Like it's Martin Luther King Day, I think, right? I'm going to be, when we go on the transatlantic cruise in September for 2 full weeks, I'm going to be so out of it when it comes to like news and just anything else going on, because whenever I'm on the ship, even though I have the Wi-Fi, it's just harder for me to keep track of everything. Yep, Oasis and Quantum have the best Wi-Fi at sea. They got the OB3 compared to OB2 for the rest of the fleet. Thank you, Tyler. Very good to know. I don't quite dig into the details to that level. So there's just so much stuff out there to chase, and I just kind of I pick up bits and pieces of it here and there. I remember a few years ago that OB3 internet you were talking about. I remember like reading about that, but I didn't know like who was using it. So you would hope at some point these older ships that, like when they put them into a dry dock, they would eventually move them to the newer, the newer internet. So, but that's I know in Adventure of the Seas in August of last year, I really dinged them pretty hard because the internet on the Adventure was horrible. And I wasn't sure how the Mariner was going to be, so glad to see that it's better than I thought.
Why have you moved a couple times?
Well, because when I got down to the solarium, everybody, like literally several people were sleeping, and then there weren't really any open.
Right now there's like a big loud crowd in one of the hot tubs, so you better be glad you're not there.
Well,
I walked through there, I was like, ow, my ear.
Oh yeah, they've been drinking probably. And I don't know, there were people sleeping, and then I found one spot that was sort of in the corner, but it wasn't that good. And then a guy comes and sits down next to me and starts working on his phone. And I'm like, well, this isn't going to work very well for me to be trying to do a live stream next to someone.
Oh.
So I was like, all right.
Wow, these chairs are like really low.
So then I came in here to the pool area, and I was sitting down there. Remember those chairs where you sink way down in the chair? I was sitting down there.
Adirondack chair?
Yeah. And I had the camera kind of pointed at the over here, but the view wasn't that good. And I was like,
cute. These chairs here?
yeah. So then I came up here,
They
and I was,
definitely did good on the furniture. A lot of it reminds me of Virgin Voyage.
Yeah.
Scarlet Lady.
she's talking about these chairs right here.
Yeah, even these that we're sitting in. I mean,
Yeah, this is what I'm sitting in. This kind of.
This is very, very reminiscent of Scarlet Lady.
Yep. See, there's a whole set of them over there.
But handful of vendors out there that are making some boo-boo dollars on this new new furniture.
Yeah. I almost moved closer to the edge so that I could get down into the pool area, but I decided to just kind of leave it here. So.
Yeah, when she was asking about I don't know who it was asking about the UFO thing, I saw that. I was like, no, it's the Viking.
Oh, that's Mongo.
Yeah, it's
Or Moongo. Moongo. I forgot there's an extra O in there. So yeah, I finally settled on up here. I probably should have, I'm like in direct sun up here, but I'll be alright.
So this is not, I thought this area was restricted.
Tyler says someone's going to bring their own Starlink Wi-Fi dish on board. Yeah. Yeah. I think the cruise lines are finally slowly starting to dial in, because you figure like all of the newer ships, like the Icon class will probably have the new OB3, you know, those new ones from NCL, you know, I'm sure they're using whatever the latest, you know. So as the newer ships come online, the bar for the Wi-Fi will be raised up.
Have you held it up over there? On Cozumel?
I tried. The camera was having a little bit of trouble focusing earlier, so.
This turned out to be a beautiful day.
Yeah. So here's my new routine, right? So, got my Yeti cup. Got a can of water here.
Cans are killing me.
I'm starting to kind of get used to the cans, like, you know.
Well, and now it's just, you know, we definitely have to make sure we bring our own bottles.
Well, we just have to bring our Yeti cup, our Yeti,
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeti bottles.
and just fill up with water. Call up room service, order another case of canned water, and we're good to go.
Yeah, we're on our second 24 pack.
Yep.
And that one made,
They're only like 12 ounce cans, so they go really quickly.
yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I think they cost more than the bottles did.
Well, yeah, they do. I mean, because those were 1 liter bottles. I don't remember how much they were. Because I would only ever buy them like pre-cruise, and I would usually get them like a ways out before the cruise. Maybe like 20-something bucks for like for like 12 1 liter bottles. But this is the new reality, so. Could you hear a lot of the music? Did you hear a lot of the music?
We hear it.
Yeah, I was commenting earlier that YouTube's probably gonna have a field day with the music.
Yeah.
But whatever.
When I got in the elevator, because I was looking at, okay, you know, see where you're at. And it was still playing, and I got in the elevator, and that's when you started talking about the Wi-Fi, and of course it was spinning for a minute, but then it picked right back up. So
Yeah.
the doors closed.
I don't know what the deal is with it. I don't because Tyler was talking about how, you know, we have a good solid stream, and I've been watching, you know, the stream health, and it's pretty much been excellent the whole time. And I don't know if that's because we're stationary, or we're stationary and we're at a good high point of the ship, and we probably have a lot of the Wi-Fi access points around us.
Yeah.
I don't know what the combination is. I hope everyone's doing well, enjoying the holiday. Oh, here we go.
A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. At this time, we're going to ask the following guests: Rivera, Virgula Antonio, and Virgula Aguirre Monica from deck number 6. I repeat, Rivera, Virgula Antonio, and Virgula Aguirre Monica from deck number 6. To kindly contact guest services by dialing 0 at this time. Thank you.
All aboard was 5:30, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we're right at the all on board time. So that should mean departures at 6.
I just hope that rowdy little group that was with our excursion gets on board in time. I mean,
Oh, you don't want to leave them behind?
They were right there at Margaritaville, so they didn't have far to go.
Is it just me, or did all of a sudden the temperature feel like it dropped?
Did, yeah.
That was
Plus
weird.
the wind picked up a little. bit.
Yeah.
The sun's going down.
Yeah, the sun's going down a little bit. You guys might be able to see that from the camera. Oh, by the way, it's
the
hard.
sun was coming right into the room before I left.
You can't see it in the background. Let me see if I can give you a better view of this.
They are
there-
playing new music.
Over there in the background is the Carnival Vista. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, there's the whale tail right there. You kind of see the Carnival Vista in the background. Yep.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that with the music that I don't hear as much of the old time music as usual.
Well,
Maybe
now,
they're also updating that and saying, okay, enough with the 70s and 80s. I love the 70s and 80s, frankly, but
it's funny you mentioned that because Tyler just says looks like they're playing some new music on
that's
board.
why I'm commenting about it, because we're in the main pool area. So, usually out here it's like pop stuff. This is more like chill, what you would almost think you'd hear in the Solaria.
Well, this fits the vibe here, so hopefully that's why. For what's going on and the time of day and where we're at, this fits. So playing, worn out, Aha, Take on Me or Madonna or something,
Stop! I'm gonna have it in my head now.
That's the one thing I gotta say. That's the one thing that I do not. Royal Caribbean. I don't tell them that in surveys. I get why they do it, but it grinds. It grinds on my nerves. It's like I did like on the Virgin Voyages Scarlet Lady, the house music, the background chill. I did like that. So it's nice to see them getting a little better. We're getting the Vista here in Port Canaveral in 2023. So Tyler, the Vista is probably out of Galveston right now, isn't it? If I had to venture a guess, I think that's probably right. Oh, that's another thing that I'm probably going to leave. This is more like not specific to this cruise. It's more like constructive or suggestion. That's what it is. There needs to be. They need to do something about the Western Caribbean, because if you think about it, there's Cozumel, there's Costa Maya, there's Roatan and Honduras, and that's it. There's nothing else over here. So, you got all these cruises, and you got Galveston Cruise Terminal being developed, and you got all these cruises coming down in the Western Caribbean. They're just going to the same places over and over and over again. It's like we need some more Cozumels, we need some more Costa Mayas, we need something else on the Yucatan Peninsula, or they need to start somehow incorporating, Jamaica into it. I know Jamaica's kind of like Central Caribbean, not so much Western, but yep, this is out of Texas, I figured. Yeah, I can see that. The tempo on Take on Me and Blinding Lights, tempos are probably similar. So, I left the music world behind in 2015, so. It's running out of battery, and we're getting close to time to leave, so I think we're going to call it for the day. I got to go back to the stateroom and change out equipment and get ready to record some video on our sail away. So tomorrow we're going to do 3 o'clock for a live stream. I don't know. Might do the same location. I don't know. We're going to do either out here on the upper deck somewhere, or we'll do from the Viking Crown Lounge. So we'll see. There is Progresso, but that place is not a great place as a cargo port. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, is like the cruise lines, or the cruise lines in conjunction with the Mexican government. Somebody needs to come together and like Royal Caribbean's doing all this investment in the Bahamas, right? So they need, what about the Western Caribbean?
What is that?
Progresso. I've heard of it. I don't remember. We'll have to look it up later. Thank you, Tyler. Good to see you again. Tomorrow, 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern, we'll be back. I'm not sure where on the ship, but we will be somewhere. So I hope to see you guys then.
Maybe comment in on the bottom where you want us to be.
Yeah.
Very good afternoon,
hang
ladies
on,
and gentlemen,
Captain.
and crew. This is Captain Tobias speaking from the bridge. Welcome aboard. I certainly hope that you enjoy your day here in Cozumel and Mexico. Before we get underway, I have some important information to share with you regarding our time together. After conducting routine crew testing this morning, we discovered a small group of crew members on board that tested positive for COVID-19. Since then, we have also learned of 3 guests that visited the medical facility on board today showing flu-like symptoms that have now also tested positive for COVID-19. As an immediate precaution, these guests as well as the crew members were immediately moved to isolation close to our medical facility, and their close contacts were identified and tested as well. As part of our healthy return to service, we have further heightened our already stringent sanitation efforts and deep cleaning in all public areas on board. We kindly ask that you keep practicing preventive measures like ensuring you are wearing your mask indoors unless eating and drinking, maintaining physical distancing, and wash your hands thoroughly and often. If you feel unwell or have any questions, feel free to dial 51 on your stateroom phone and our team will be happy to help you. Please know your health and safety remain my top priority, and I'm dedicated to keeping you informed every step of the way. Thank you for your continued cooperation and understanding in this matter. We are almost ready to cast off and start sailing towards our next port called Nassau in the Bahamas. The total distance to go is 710 nautical miles, which is equal to 817 statute miles. In order to be at the pilot station just outside Nassau at 6 a.m. the day after tomorrow, we need an average speed of 20 knots, which is equal to 23 miles per hour, and we shall be alongside by around 7 a.m. in the morning. The weather forecast for tonight is calling for much more favorable conditions than last
Thank
night.
goodness.
Having said that, some of the swell from the Gulf of Mexico will remain overnight, but overall the conditions will be much better than last night, and we should have a comfortable night with a light northerly breeze and up to around 2 meters or 6 feet of swell. The temperature will end up around 22 degrees Celsius or 71 degrees Fahrenheit overnight. And for tomorrow at sea, it looks like you can expect mostly sunny skies with a northeasterly wind around 15 knots or 17 miles per hour. The sea will come out from the northwest around 1 meter or 3 feet, and the temperature will end up around 20 degrees Celsius or 68 degrees Fahrenheit as the cold front passed by yesterday, causing a little bit of chillier weather. For those of you that are interested, the sun will set tonight at 6:29 p.m. and rise tomorrow morning again at 7:16 a.m. Did you know the largest Cinco de Mayo party in the world is found in Los Angeles, California, where it's actually named Fiesta Broadway? During the anniversary of Cinco de Mayo in the United States, more than 80 million avocados are consumed. Hole guacamole. I wish you all a wonderful evening and night aboard the Mariner of the Seas. Thank you everyone, have a great night.
Captain joke. Okay, now we're out. All right, thanks guys. See you tomorrow. Be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let YouTube know you liked the broadcast, and make sure you subscribe. Notification bell on, so you're notified whenever I go live, or whenever one of the blog posts goes live too, because I put out blog posts like several days a week. So, see you tomorrow.